Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I am here to do a refresh episode. So this is my little series I do every once in a while where I take a layout I've created and I'm just not in love with it, and I give it a facelift and kind of deconstruct the old layout and try to save as much of it as I can to create my new one. So you should have seen before my video started my original layout. I had created it for a Spiegelman Scraps episode, and it's not that I don't like the layout, but within my album I literally made I scrap lifted myself, and I have basically this exact same style right next to it. So it needed a little bit of an update, and I wanted to kind of play with it a little more and see what other type of design I could come up with for this layout. And so that is why I am redoing it. I am also challenging myself to use up my June stash kit and use just a little bit more out of it, try to ink out just a tiny bit more. I'm pretty pleased with how much I've gotten used up and what I've done with this kit. It was kind of fun, and I liked it so much that I did create a kit for July, which I will be sharing. I hope to have that up on July 1st, so stay tuned for that. That's this coming Saturday. And so to this layout, what I decided is I deconstructed the very bottom of the layout, and I literally just took apart the pieces and put it right back on. It came apart in 3 pieces, so the frame came by itself and the project life card with my journaling, and then all of that layering and stuff that I did underneath my photo came out as one piece. So that was nice. A lot of it was able to be salvaged. And how excited was I when I didn't rip my white pattern paper, so cardstock, excuse me, so when I could just flip it over and use the back side of that white cardstock for this layout. So I really didn't grab a new piece of pattern paper at all. This is all my stash kit, so I was really excited about that. And what I've decided here is, because this is a layout talking about love and all of that, I figured florals were allowed and totally necessary for this layout. So I took that beautiful piece of Maggie Holmes paper that I've used a couple times this month already and cut 3 more flowers out of there along with a few of the leaves. And I'm going to do my tried and true visual triangle. I talk about this probably in every layout I do, but I love it. I don't know why. I can't help it. In order for me to do a layout, I must have a visual triangle. It's just the way I am. So I'm liking that, and I'm like, okay, perfect. Let's work on getting this title out of the, off of the backside as carefully as possible, trying not to ruin anything. I bent a little bit of those big thickers that say love. I bent it just a little bit, but I was able to glue them back on okay, and really, you can tell a little bit that they've obviously been manipulated a little, but it's not that bad. So I was able to do that, and it took me a little bit. I was trying to be super careful and cautious, and I didn't want to rip too much. While I was tearing off the word to with those letters, they did rip the paper, and they are salvageable if I trim them. And so I will probably try to save them and use them on another layout, but they don't make it back onto this layout because I came up with a different idea with my title, and I like it a little bit more. Part of it is this original layout, I used a really soft blue for a couple of the words in my title. Is called I Love That We Don't Say I Love You Too. A really long title, and it's okay, but again, the part of the letters were just way too light and they didn't work, and they really clashed when I put them next to the fact that I now have more of like a green tone teal than a blue tone teal. So it doesn't end up being that, and instead I'm going to kind of switch it up just a little bit, and I'm going to take a couple of the words out of my title so that it just says we don't say love you too, and it sums it up a little bit nicer and I liked that. But I do end up changing a few things here. So first of all, I'm liking this, but I decided it needs just one more layer of pattern paper somewhere to kind of help everything pop off the page. And so I'm going to go to this. It's a Maggie Holmes again, so that works really neat. And I find that this Maggie Holmes worked really well with that. The black is from Dear Lizzie Saturday, so they actually worked pretty well together. Maybe not a perfect match, but they definitely they definitely help each other, and I don't know, I don't mind it. I think it works well enough. I did try to put this on this beautiful piece of pattern paper, but it's too busy, and there's a bit of a cream undertone to it, and because my photo's a little bit on the softer side, having that really just kind of made us look yellow, and I don't want us to look yellow, so I went back to the white. And you can see I switched to these black foam thickers, and these are the thickers that I'm trying to get myself to use up. So I just changed the we and the to into those black. Really love the way that looks. And then I'm going to just do a couple finishing touches here. I put back the stars. These are cork stars from the shop, and I wanted to add them back because I liked the little cork element to it. I find cork and gold go really nicely together, so I wanted to do that. And then to kind of help highlight my title a little bit, I am taking these awesome sequins that you can get from the Spiegel Mom Scrap Shop, and they're called Emoji Love. Now, there's two reasons why I'm doing this. The one is because they're pretty. The second reason is next week we are kicking off the Emoji Love Week on Spiegel Mom Scrap. So every layout that you see next week for Spiegel Mom Scraps is using these beautiful sequins. So I kind of wanted to just do a kind of kickoff to that and play with them a little bit before I created my layout. And so that's why I'm using them. But I'm going to fill all of the O's with the yellow in the sequins pack. And I love it. It kind of just pops off the page, and I don't know, I really, really enjoy the way that it looks. My final touches is going to be just tracing with my Sharpie and my ruler, a border around it to kind of box everything in. And then off screen, I do add a little bit more pattern paper to the bottom and the top just to kind of help highlight it. And again, some Maggie Home black. So you'll see that in the close-ups. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll try to get to them as quickly as possible. And I hope you've enjoyed this. And give, if you don't love a layout, maybe try giving it a facelift and see what you think of it. And don't forget to check out, again, Spiegel Mom Scraps next week. We have a really fun, July is going to be a really fun month with all of our themes. So go ahead and check that out as well. And yeah, just enjoy your day, everyone. Bye.